Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Basement Arcana. Today we have what we bragged about last time. We are starting our campaign. So, this is going to be session zero for the campaign, in which we are titling it Roll for Title. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So,
right?
We've got Ben DMing. And
Hooey, your not so average DM, who's now a player.
That's crazy.
I know. The tables have turned.
How the turntables have turned. And I'm Skip, and I got a hankering for a whoopie pie. Let's get into it. Take it away, Ben!
All right, everybody. Well, welcome to my campaign. So, we're going to lay a few ground rules real quick. We're going to kind of immerse ourselves in this campaign, make sure everybody's on the same page, and then kind of get started with the story. We're only going to go through a little bit of it to kind of start, just to kind of get a feel for it. And then we're going to pick up, not as a behind the screens, but this will have its own thing moving forward after this. So this is the only time it'll be part of that. All right. So let's start out with just kind of like some base extra rules or just extra things to consider for both the players and just you as the audience, just to understand how this campaign might be different than just, your vanilla version of D&D. So firstly, I just want to say that
or something else 5e compatible.
Yes, 5e compatible.
Your 5e compatible adventure
compatible. For any 5e TTRPG. For any of them,
any of those 5e
ones. So I have DM before, but I am not by any stretch of the imagination an experienced DM. I think I've done like maybe 3, and they all fell apart pretty quick. Not because of me, of course.
No.
It wasn't me. It was all the players' fault. So help me out here.
There weren't enough trees in those campaigns.
No.
I didn't focus enough.
Oh wait,
on
no.
trees.
I should say it wasn't for lack of trees at the campaigns.
No, I did. I didn't focus enough on the trees. That was the downfall of the campaign. I mean, I didn't give them enough trees to
chop.
I mean, with a campaign full of lumberjacks, it's hard to.
Yeah.
Hard.
All right, so. A couple extra things, like a couple kind of house rules, and if I forgot any, I'll just kind of throw them in there as we go through. So firstly, I had them start out with full HP, and they're going to have full HP every single time they level up. I just wanted to be big, old damage sponges. I'd rather throw a bunch of stuff at them and have to just keep throwing crap at them to whittle them down rather than go, oh crap, you're dead. So full HP all the way. We're going to use a homebrew version of Exhaustion. It's inspired by XP to level 3. It's essentially the same thing. It's a 10-point system, but actually I'm going to make it a 12-point system. Okay. But the way that it works is all D20 rolls will have a -1 per level of exhaustion. So if you got 5 levels of exhaustion, it's -5 to all your D20 rolls. There are some extra little things there, like... at a certain level, your movement starts getting, I think actually at like -5, I have half movement speed. And then when you get all the way to 9, it's reduced to 5. And then at 10, you're automatically passed out. And you have to remove a couple levels of exhaustion in order to come back, like the consciousness.
By sleeping.
By breasting. So you got to kind of be carried out of there. Yeah.
Breasting.
Breasting. Breastfeeding. Yes. That'll give you some nutrition.
Mommy.
And we'll kind of cover that more in detail as we go.
I think
just to understand
it's probably going to make more sense during play.
Yeah, exactly, during play. So just be aware of
my
that.
Brain just exploded.
All monsters in this are mutable, and there's a really good reason for that. First of all, this is, as a DM, that's how I always do it. So I like to have, everybody has access to this book. And so if, we're going to be fighting a thing, let me just casually look at, okay. Because it's hard to not metagame when I know some of the stat blocks in here from monsters that I've seen. So it's it's not a mystery. So in the way I conceptualize things is this is public knowledge in the world. Like this is any library you'd have this knowledge. Doesn't mean that it's right though. It just means that's what the world thinks. There could just be variance.
I think it kind of goes into the idea that a lot of DMs will reskin characters or reskin monsters and have a bunch of different. Well, like you're fighting something and all of a sudden its HP is through the roof, or its armor class is through the roof because it's supposed to be a bigger bad or whatever.
Right. And I mean, for the most part, like, you know, it'll be relatively similar to what's in the book. It's not going to be so far off base. And then, and actually for this particular campaign, the biggest reason is because, as Skip had mentioned in the previous episode, excuse me, I've been drinking a lot of Coca-Cola today. This world is based on a cartoon idea that we had, and we still kind of want to preserve because, you know, we'd like to develop this cartoon. Patreon, you can support us on Patreon if you'd like, and that, you know, just they're unrelated, but maybe they could be related.
Kissing cousins.
Yeah. So, and also given that is that there is a collaboration in the world building. So Skip and I have been world building, and Hooey's had some input as well. But as far as the adventure goes, they don't know. I'm doing that all myself. But because of the nature of the world building, I just want to make sure that it works with the immense amount of work that we've already put into this world, which is, it's basically kind of like snacks. So you got sweet, you got sour, we got bitter, and we've got salty. And also those three of those coincide with a damage type. So sweet is kind of associated with force damage. So they're going to be familiar with that because we're going to start out in the sweet area, and that's where like most of the population that we're going to be encountering is from.
What does my area say?
But they are unfamiliar with acid damage, which is associated with sour, and necrotic damage, which is associated with bitter. So they're going to be unfamiliar with that, at least initially. I'm not going to keep them in the dark for too long because that's just crazy. So, but they won't have any spells or anything, or at least won't be familiar with any spells or anything that do acid or necrotic damage. And I forgot to mention that beforehand, so I don't know if you guys took any spells that do that. But at least for now,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
And then salt, it doesn't actually have a damage component associated or damage type associated with it because, you know, salt enhances flavors. So salt is kind of like an enhancing kind of thing. It's associated with enhancing things.
So you could add it to the sugar to enhance the damage?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure exactly, you know.
Salt hurts wounds.
It's conceptual. And you, because of the nature of this world, and eventually we'll get you a map of all these things, but the salty area exists in the center of this island, and so all of those different, like the sweet, sour, and sweet and the sour.
Did you base this world on the old form of the tongue?
No, it's that map. Remember?
Yeah.
I don't have it with me, but
I don't remember.
It was in the center. Remember? The Trader Tots?
Oh, that's right.
You'll find it. Yeah. We won't get it too far. But because you guys like salted the salted caramel peaks are very close to where you are, and that's something you'd be familiar with. So salt is the one thing that you are familiar with. We'll find out how that goes into the numbers.
Sure.
And then one of the last things is that money is going to be kind of a partial focus of this particular campaign. So it's going to kind of be relatively low to start with. And if you remember from the last one, you'll see why, but you'll see why very, very shortly as to why money is going to be a big part of this. Okay. All right. So our players exist in a town called Cold Light Clearing. It's called that because there's a meteor that exists in about the center of the town, and hopefully I've thrown a map up there. I am the editor, so I hope I do the thing that I say I'm going to do. So I'll have my little drawing of a map up there. It was a meteorite that projects kind of a cold light. And so this town has just kind of grown around this. It's basically a lumbering town, so that's where it got its start. A lot of wood was cut down. There's a lot of sweet maple here. There's a lot of different uki trees. Just a bunch of different stuff. I won't get too deep into that right now. But that's kind of the primary economic driving force in this particular area, although it is a thriving town at this point. So there's a lot of different things. It's not too far off from...
Cold Lake Clearing?
Cold Light.
Cold Light.
Cold Light Clearing. And yeah, the meteorite produces a kind of cold, kind of ambient light that even during the daytime, even though it's at nighttime, it's not very bright, but even during the daytime, you can still see that it glows. So it's almost like it intensifies during the day so you can see it, but then it kind of reduces at night.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of a central point in the town. So like the town hall and the main tavern and some of the main components of the town are right wrapped around that, because that's how the town would have started out, and then it kind of outstretched into what it is currently. It's a town of approximately 1,100 people. So it's not super huge. It's not too far, but it's not very close to the Custard Kingdom, which is really the kind of seed that started this. What was it? Like the Custard Judge, right?
Oh my God,
yeah.
dude. There's such funny stuff.
Skip just came in. He's like, well, what was it? It was like you said something about like the high life of a custard judge, right?
Yeah. I don't even that's all it was just an offhanded remark of the high life of a custard judge.
And then we kind of developed an episode, and then we're like, what if we just made this a whole world? And then it just took off from there.
I watched it happen. I had no part in it, and it was amazing.
All right.
So that's my input.
Okay. So, our characters have basically grown up in this whole town. But you know what? I'm not going to tell you about them. I'm going to let them kind of talk about their characters. And also, they're going to be giving me information that I'm going to incorporate into the town. I haven't solidified everything yet. So I wanted them to kind of be part. I like my players to be part of the world building. So I want them to kind of tell me what they want from their characters and what their characters have done in this town. And then I'm going to kind of modify some of my things to make that fit. And that's something I really like to do. Like, for instance, and I always use this as my example. If somebody takes Slow Fall and we're in a flat plane world, that spell is useless if you're never going to fall off of anything. And so I like to make sure that everybody's choices matter in game. So, you know, if you took something like Slow Fall, we're going to have mountains and peaks and kind of stuff, and I'll give you an opportunity to use that spell. That's not a great example, but there are some things that you can take for character purposes that might never come up in the game, and I want those to matter. So I'll modify my things to make it so that the players, you know, their choices matter. All right. So
I like to matter.
I love mattering.
I like matter.
Matter on the other hand.
All of the matters, including
I'm
Einstein-Bose condensates.
Anti-matter.
Those are my favorite, the condensates.
The condom sites?
The condom sites, yeah. All of those.
Oh, dude, great.
They're creamy.
Creamy?
No, I said Einstein-Bose condensate. Come on, get with it. Physics stuff. I'm very, very well versed in this.
I'm
Just don't ask me any
such
questions.
physics.
All right. So, which one of you wants to
go for it,
to kind of lay out your character to start?
Yeah, let's let Hooey start this off. We'll make it a round corner.
Yeah, no, I don't get it. So, I myself, I talked about it in the last session that I was kind of jumbling in between three, and I kind of definitely landed on a ranger. So I'm a Goliath ranger. My name is Rollo Bumpkins, and Rollo, well, he was a hill dwarf. I know, doesn't make sense, but eventually,
damn it, it doesn't have to.
And it doesn't have to. But boy, did Rollo really, in his younger ages, started to really get into the gym. And by the gym, I mean getting into the mountains and doing his push-ups, his curls, and all that good stuff. And one day he was looking for something to really amp him up, really get him going. He met an individual in the mountains where he was training.
Told him he could get him rock hard.
Get him rock hard off this stuff. So he happened to say, like, he was like, "Oh, great, this is awesome. I want to get more buff." So he drank.
I want to be hard.
He drank.
I want to be so hard for you.
Yeah, rock hard for the evil witch. So she sold me this potion, which I then drank and went back to my regular training. I awoke in the morning, swole as could be, and about 7 feet taller.
So hitting the gym worked out. Like
hitting the gym. I mean, Rollo felt as though
had nothing to do with the vial of steroids.
If it weren't for all the push-ups and workouts and like body weight techniques that he was doing, he would never achieve this.
Would never have grown.
He would never have achieved this this phenomenal dwarven physique.
Into the Goliath. And you too, kids, can become a Goliath.
Can
Just
become
go to
a
the gym.
Goliath. Go to the gym.
And if you meet a seedy character in a back alley who has a needle for you, take that needle. Don't take that needle.
Don't take that.
Whoa!
Needle. No, do not take that needle.
Whoa! Was it filled with bleach too?
Yeah. Duh.
Wait, you act like that's not a thing that you should do.
Yeah. So once Rollo obtained this phenomenal dwarven physique,
of a Goliath.
He chose to
from working out.
He chose to use this newfound strength to help those around him, and found a new. He continues to work out, but he's now found a new outlet and goal to attain, and that is helping everyone that he can. And that's Rollo.
That's Rollo in a nutshell.
No, he's Rollo Bumpkins.
Ah, yes.
Bumpkins. He's from the Bumps. The Bumblekins.
The Bumblekins.
So, Skip.
Yeah?
Where you from? What you at? What's your name?
Okay, so you know
number?
how
The back of
your head is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
You know how last episode I was going between a paladin and a rogue, or
You even popped a cleric in there.
yeah, cleric.
Yeah.
Well, I decided to go with a druid.
Oh, okay.
Oh, curveball!
Awesome. Curveball.
Yes. My character. Yeah, who would have guessed that all the things that he was trying to decide upon, he went with none of them.
Yep.
That's so blue. My character is named Seely Bradshaw. Seely is a druid. Now, in this world, Ben and I came up with the idea that all wizardy types, magic users are feral.
There is one exception, but we're not going to tell you what that is at this moment.
Yes. It's too fucking good. Suffice it to say, this is why I went druid.
Instead of one of the other ones.
Instead of one of the other ones.
Yes.
But Seely is a goose. Yeah, I love it so much. He is about 4 feet tall. He is modeled after. See what I did there? Like a modeled duck.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's also modeled as a model.
Is he modeled?
Yes.
Okay.
More or less. Yes. He's based off the Danish landrace goose. Bright orange beak from the top of his head down to just above his shoulder areas is like a mocha brown. It gets kind of dark to light as it goes down to the chest, and then he's spotted with like the mocha brown to where his body almost resembles a toasted marshmallow jelly belly jelly bean. So he, a few years back, was kind of a sickly little creature, and was ultimately left for dead by his parental geese and his flock, so to speak. And one day he was lakeside in Sweetleaf Forest when he was discovered by Albert. Ferdinand, that's right. Right. Ferdinand Whippelkins,
yes.
Yes. I got to remember these names. Ferdinand Whippelkins.
Whipping them off the top of your head.
Yep. He's like, that's not even what the name was, but now it's fucking canon.
Yep, that's canon. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Also, Ferdinand's who gave him the name Seely. He was taken in for a little bit and then was adopted by a a halfling couple, Ma and Pa Bradshaw, who took him in. So, also he wears a collar because he's feral. He still needs to be trained, and he's sometimes prone to goose-like outbursts. Albert's bees.
Albert's
bees. Albert's Burt's bees. So he wears a segmented red collar with tags that say, "If lost, please return to Ma and Pa Bradshaw." And ever since then, he's been apprenticing under Ferdinand at his adventure guild.
Yep.
And that's about where we're at.
Okay. All right. So let's get into a little bit more of this town, and then we'll start. Oh, wait, that's right in front of me. That's the one I'm looking for. There's that. Okay, I don't need that. All right. Okay. So the town. Where did I put that?
Oh, also, picture. Have you ever seen the meme? It comes around like every July 4th with the bald eagle singing "America."
What the
fuck
fuck?
yeah! And he's got
arms?
animated arms,
Yeah.
and he's just shooting guns in the air.
Terrorists, your game is through, 'cause now you have to answer to America. Fuck yeah! So lick my blood and suck on my bones.
Picture a goose with human arms.
That's nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
That's nightmare.
And then
fuel.
he's just blasting off.
Now,
fucking
just as a reminder, and just so that they all know, you did base the build for this character off of a pre-existing.
The
Aarakocra, yeah.
Yeah.
I figured. Man, you explained so much of your character. I didn't know we were going that in depth.
Do you want to revisit?
I mean, just for explanation of what Rollo looks like, at least.
Barbara.
Barbara.
Yep.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Does he look like
They're
a man?
very horny.
So, what?
Does he look like a man?
That woman looks a man.
He look like a man.
Yes, he looks very much like
You
a
look
man.
like a man.
I tell you everything.
As Rollo has clearly is a dwarf, he still struggles with finding clothes that fit him, as he still seems to shop at dwarven establishments. So imagine a very sophisticated Neanderthal.
Yes.
Yes. Like clothes that are clearly just been ripped in just the right spots to just cover like the upper body and lower body. He's gotten some tribal. He likes to call them tribal war paints, but they're definitely tattoos. But they're his tribal war paints that he dons every day. He, much like you, eventually found himself with the new goal he had to help people. Found himself at the guild, the Adventurers Guild, and wanted to. He found this was the best place for him to seek out ways to better help not only his family and friends, but others around him to kind of gain a name for himself in some way. Now that he's become strong and wants to help others, he wants to gain a name for himself so he can continue to get bigger and better jobs and be able to venture out further.
Nice.
That's
the
gist.
Cool. Sweet.
Cool.
More exposition for you.
Cool. All right. So, these two have grown up in this town, basically their entire life, obviously, barring their backstory. It's for the most part, it's a relatively like low income town. It's a very chummy kind of a place. There's not a whole lot of wealth in here, but everybody takes care of everybody and kind of looks after each other. Except for, well, it's also a nice vacation spot. So we pick up with our heroes here. So This is very much kind of going to be based off of the real world. So like this is the end of your primary schooling. You've done all your primary schooling and you've been let out. And today is the day that you found out that Ferdinand is pulling you guys into the guild fully as adventurers. You're no longer apprentices. And yeah. So Ferdinand, so you actually tutored under not just Ferdinand, but there was also Baz, who was a warrior. He left a while ago. He was a little on the rougher side. Wasn't super chummy, but you learned a lot from him. And now that he's been gone for a little bit, you kind of have a greater respect for what he did, because at the time, it's one of those kind of relationships where you're like, oh, that guy, I just don't like that guy, and why does he do this and pushes? But you kind of realize now that he's gone, like what it was that he was trying to teach you in a way that maybe isn't the greatest, but that's how he got his message across. Yeah, exactly. But still there are Leo and Claire. All right. So Leo is a bard, and Claire was a rogue. And you like them both. They're real pleasant. They're a couple.
Barb or
Bard.
Bard. Okay.
Yeah, bard. Which is different. That's not one of the magical things. That's different from the magical ones.
Right.
Like not like a wizard. Yeah. So even though they have the spell casting, that's so they were not wild. They're kind of like lovers, but their families they don't really like them together, kind of a thing. And so they actually came from the big city to get away from all of that, because they were worried that there was just going to be this big family war, and like they were trying to keep them away from each other. And they kind of talked about like maybe ending it all, to get away from that. But they decided we'll just go away.
Okay.
Yeah, you get it, right? Yeah,
I got you.
You see what's happening.
Yeah. I was gonna make a comment about it early on, but I was like, oh, so like a milder Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah. What are you talking about? All right, so they're still there. And yeah, you really like those two. They're great. I mean, sometimes they bicker a little bit because as couples do, but other than that, you're happy with that. But you've decided, you've decided to go to the local malt shop. Ferdinand, you came in to do your things. Ferdinand told you, hey guys, today's the day you're getting promoted to full members, and he just gave you the day off because normally today would be a pretty cruddy day because you got to do a lot of cleaning and stuff. You've only been out of school for 2 days, so Wednesday was the last day of school. Thursday you did a lot of work because you had the extra time, but today he just wants you to go celebrate the fact that you're there. So you're at Chibi Pie's Violet Malt Shop. Malt Shop. Yep. So you kind of got to take a 1950s vibe of like a diner or a malt shop, and just kind of have it meet the warmth and grace of wood. Yeah. So just kind of like overlay that aesthetic on top of what you would imagine a 1950s.
Smells of a rich mahogany.
Yeah. Rich. Well, not mahogany, uki. Uki wood. And some maple and ash. All that other kind of stuff. We won't get into that.
I've got this written down as 50s wooden diner.
Yeah. Now you guys have been coming here a lot. This is kind of the local teen hangout, and because school's out, this is actually a pretty hopping place right now. It's not as packed as it could be, but it's fairly full, and you guys are having your favorite malts, and your favorite counter clerk, Marty the soda jerk, is there.
Marty.
Yeah.
God, do we love him.
You guys having a good time there? I see you're celebrating that you finally got part of the guild. That's just so great, guys. I'm just so happy for you. Marty's just a little bit older than them. He did go to the same school. He's been graduated for a couple of years now, but he's like you guys.
He's the Van Wilder of the world.
He likes you guys.
The Van Milder.
So guys, what? This next one's on the house. What can I get for you? What kind of malt can I get for you? Or soda? Or
I prefer to have my favorite one. favorite.
Okay. Orange Julius it is.
Thank you.
Me feeling wild.
Ooh, it's a wild. Would you like a
Yes.
wild cherry one today?
No. Me want sarsaparilla float. Me like sarsaparilla float.
Sarsaparilla. Okay. Sarsaparilla. All right, boys. Here you are. Here's your mulch and enjoy yourselves. I'm really proud of you guys, and I hope that you get some really good question adventures. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Marty.
No, you're most welcome. Yeah, just let me know if you need anything else. I'm just gonna be down here taking care of these other teens that are your peers.
Many thank.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So you guys get your beverages, and you're just kind of hanging out, and the hustle and bustle is going on. And you're just kind of like having a good time, and yeah.
Marty, can me get spoon?
Sure. I'm so sorry. Here, let me get you a spoon. He rummages around underneath the counter. And
Sorry, me don't
picks you
have
up a-
lips.
Here's a spoon. I should have known. I'm so sorry, guys. All right, here you go. There's your spoon there, silly.
Me don't blame you.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank.
So you guys are enjoying your beverage there, and all of a sudden you hear a very, very familiar voice that only comes around this time of year. Hey! Didn't I tell you guys not to come in here? And sure enough, it's the voice of Biff Swizzle, heir to the Swizzle Stick fortune. And he only comes around at summer because he lives in the Custard Kingdom. But every summer he comes here to live in the Swizzle Mansion, which is in this particular town. Yeah, you told him. Yeah, you told him, Biff. And he's accompanied by his 3 compatriots, who are Matches, 3D, and Domehead.
3D?
3D.
I'm just putting 3 and D.
Did you listen to me? I said I thought I told you guys not to come in here.
You only come around here every so often. Why do we have to stay out of here the whole year?
Yeah, me like this place.
Well, mostly because I don't like you. And I want you to suffer. But you know what? I think I'm feeling generous today. You can stay here because it ain't gonna be long before you're out of a job.
And how exactly are you going to kick us out of a job?
Oh, you don't know? Well, my father is gonna buy your stupid little guild hall, and we're gonna turn it into an espresso and sunglasses kiosk.
Me don't
it's
believe
gonna
you.
Be so great.
Yeah,
Me don't believe you.
I agree.
Oh,
I don't believe you either.
You don't? Well, why don't you go ask your little guild master about that? Oh, and you're gonna find that your 2 little friends there are gone. Yeah. Yeah, you tell him, bitch. You tell him.
To who?
To who?
Which-
What?
2 friends who?
Claire and Leo. The other ones at the guild hall. They're gone.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it looks like you 2 are very informed. And seeing as how you lived here, I don't understand how you don't know what's going on. And here I am coming into town knowing all this stuff. Well, guys, I don't think I like the stink that's in this place. Let's get out of here and go swimming. And they proceed to leave.
Be about your business, Biff.
Yeah, we'll see. And they make their way out and they head towards Swizzle Manor. As you sit there, a little confused because, today was a day that you've been accepted into the guild. And how is this even happening?
Me confused. Me don't understand.
I don't get it either. Well, how could we just be becoming full-fledged guild members?
Hey guys, what was that all about? What are you talking about? The guild shutting down? No way. guys just got that job.
We don't know anything.
There's no way.
This is the sad. Ferdinand has been just so crucial to this town. I mean, he's so generous and so kind. I mean, I can't even understand this.
There's no way it could shut down.
I don't like the idea of me. Hang on. Me don't like the idea of being out of job before a job even start.
Aren't you here celebrating that? I mean,
Me thought so.
I think you better go talk to Ferdinand. This is highly unusual. Guys, boys, don't even worry about it. You come back here after you figure this all out. We'll get you a new one there. This is highly unusual. I hope that he's lying. Biffy's probably just lying. Dude, he likes to get under your skin. He's always, I don't know what it is about you two. He's always had it out for you two specifically.
Him no ruffle my feathers.
Biff is a bitch.
That's out of character. That's me. That's me as the DM. It's not.
Biff is a bitch anyway.
Me
Side
think we-
note. Rollo's still trying to figure out his Goliath voice. So things change a couple times.
This is the
just
first
because-
season. Things are going to change as we
Yeah.
kind of fall into
Exactly.
these characters.
Me think we should ask Ferdinand. So
It's not a far walk away. You want to make your way back to the guild hall? I mean, you were
think
just
we
there
should make
maybe
our way
about an
back to the
hour
guild
ago.
hall.
Me too confused to stay.
I don't want to.
All right, boys. So, well, like I said, you come back. You come back when you find out that's just false. There's just no way. There's just no way. It's just no. That's a staple. It's a staple here. It's been here for decades.
This is very much like an Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito twin situation walking down the street.
It is. It really is.
I just picture like him waddling next to Rollo and just
I think of it more along the lines of like a Freak and Mighty. Freak and the Mighty.
with the what?
What? That's what it is. Freak and the Mighty, right? It's a book.
I have no idea.
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh God.
Yeah,
You never read that in high school?
no.
I didn't read any books in high school.
Oh,
Animal Farm. I read
shit.
Animal Farm because it was short and it was great.
Okay, touche. So, never mind. Okay, anyway, moving on.
All right, so you make your way down the road, and it's a lovely day. It really is. It couldn't be more perfect of a day. The grass is green. The sun is shining. It's not too hot. You make your way past all these houses, which are very well kept for a peasant town. But everybody takes pride in this town. Like this is such a tight knit community. And you know you come up to the guild hall, and there it is, the one you've seen since you were little kids, over and over again. But for some reason, it just has this ominous feel to it. You kind of get that sinking feeling like this can't be true. You just found out you're going to be part of the guild that you've been apprenticing at for so long. But there's the door, beckoning you in, but also kind of holding you back.
Take a look at the sign and take a deep breath. Me still don't think this real.
What's real?
The situation.
Oh, right.
Hmm.
Yeah, we need to go talk to her. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Walk in.
You walk in through the door, and you make your way into a very familiar setting, but it just feels empty. Matter of fact, earlier today, Leo and Claire were here, getting themselves ready, but at the time it didn't make any sense, but now that you think back, they were packing up, but you thought maybe just for a quest that you weren't aware of. I mean, you did find out as soon as you got there today that you were full members, and you immediately went to the malt shop, so you didn't think too much of it. I mean, they prepare to go out all the time, but all of their stuff is gone. There's not a shred of anything left of theirs.
Honk! Honk!
Calm down.
Me
Boys!
just try-
I
yeah.
You hear from the back room. You can hear Ferdinand's voice. Boys, what are you doing back here? I thought you was at the malt shop celebrating your newfound titles. I don't know why you're even here. You should just go back out there and get along. Whatever it is, it can wait till next week.
Biff.
Now, what about Biff? He's always been a thorn in your side, but I mean, he's not coming back yet. I mean, he won't be here till the...
But Biff said that the guild isn't going to be around for much longer.
Oh, Biff's in town now.
Yeah, like
I
saw Biff at Marantz.
Thought he wouldn't be here till next week. His father's...
Biff was wearing crazy sunglasses.
Oh, dear boys,
espresso.
I'm so sorry. I should have told you earlier. I know you boys really wanted this so much.
Me don't understand.
I wanted you to just kind of bask in the glory for the weekend, and I was going to break the news to you on Monday, but I guess I'll tell you now. Yeah, it's just shutting down. I don't have the money to pay the rent. They're gonna buy me out. They're gonna put an espresso place here and a sunglass. What do you need? What do you need that stuff for? Boys, I gotta tell you, I've been too generous, and the coffers are empty, and adventuring ain't what it used to. I mean, I'm sorry to say, Leo and Claire, they took off for the big city. And I understand why. I mean,
they leave too.
They left. It's just not lucrative here for an adventurer, and
why not?
Sweetly Forest it's not. I mean, there isn't no danger, but for the most part, it's a pretty safe place, and there's just not a lot of adventuring to do here. And now there's no money coming in, and I'm sorry, boys. I'm at this to the Swizzles.
I don't like.
I'm a disappointment.
Me don't let this happen.
I don't like the Swizzles. I don't want this happen. Will not let this happen.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, boys. We gotta come up with 100 gold by the end of the month. That's what it's gonna cost. And I just don't know. The only quest we got is from old Bat Tits.
Bat Tit's crazy.
She is.
Bat Tit batshit.
She's got a Kiblin problem, and that's nothing. I mean, you boys know it sucks. They got the sticky spit, but it's pretty easy. But she's just offering 1 gold. I mean, that's more than I could even ask for. But
Kiblin, like Kibblin.
What's that?
Kiblin.
Kiblins. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, so I'll pull out a character. So they're basically fey goblins. They're
okay.
A little bit smaller than kobolds. They have kind of ratty wings. They're very well known for they love to get into gardens. They're mischievous, but they're not really harmful. They don't have any form of attack other than their sticky spit, and that's just so that they can get away. They're just really more of a pain to deal with, and there's a really easy solution. It's just you just surround the area with pillow squash, and it keeps them away for 3 weeks to a month, and you just kind of reapply that during this part of the year. So boys, I mean, if you want to take this on, it's up to you. You can go talk to her real quick and just see what's going on, or you can head over to
me excited. We save.
Or you can head over to Mr. Whittlewell's farm and pick up the pillow squash, and just bring them over there. You boys know how to do that, right? You just put them around the perimeter. The smell keeps them away. There's not a lot of animals that eat it, and they'll stay away from there. Just watch out for this spittle. It's real sticky. It's real hard to get off.
Can do.
Even if it's only 1 gold.
Yeah. Well,
doing good deeds puts our name out.
It is. We will have to be buying the pillow squash out of pocket. They're only a copper a piece, but you're gonna need like 3 dozen of them to get all of it gotten.
Do we have that much?
Oh, boys, don't worry about that. I get it. Here. He hands you a satchel. It has a few silver pieces in it.
No.
We do just.
No. If it's only 3 copper, then we just need what we need.
Well, I mean, it's
Him say three
dozen,
copper.
so it's gonna be about 3 dozen copper. You got 36 copper, so at least 4 silver. Here it is, and he hands you a satchel. It has several silver in it. You can't tell from the outside, but it has at least 4. It seems a little heavier than 4, but there's at least 4 in there. Just make sure to get the payment once you've done the job.
So you're doing 10 copper is silver?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
For simplicity's sake, it's 10, 10, 10. So 10 copper equals 1 silver. 10 silver equals 1 gold, and that's it. There is no other currency.
Okay. Cool. I grabbed the satchel.
Okay.
And what was the name of the guy's farm?
Good question.
Oh, no way.
Oh, we've done
No
it.
way.
We've cracked
In
the
the
code.
session 0?
We've cracked the code.
Okay. I didn't have the time. I didn't have the time to get everything in place.
Woo!
I got to come up with 1,100 names, guys.
1,101.
Well, no, I've just come up with a bunch of them on the spot here today. So
Good.
I'm gonna have to look back at the footage.
Yeah, roll that back because I don't remember.
Mr. Whittlewell's
You said pillow squash?
pillow squash.
Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Pillow Squash's Pillow Squash farm.
Yeah, we'll go with that for now. Yeah, I got into character. I didn't write it down as I was saying it.
Oh, you're good.
Okay. So you have 2 options. You can go to the old woman's garden area, or you can go directly to the pillow squash farm, or you can go wander around and do whatever you want. Of course, naturally. Yeah. So Ferdinand wishes you luck, and hopefully, maybe we can dig ourselves out of this hole. But you can see by the look on his face that
He doesn't think it's
feels
possible.
that this is it.
We need to save the guild.
Have a baby for dad!
All right.
So
So, what would you like to do?
I say
we go to Bats. Bat Tits.
Bat Tits.
First.
Let her know we're taking it.
We do that.
Let's do that.
All
Okay,
right.
we mosey over to
Then we'll
Bat
go to the
Tits.
farm.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a walk. It's on the So you guys actually haven't seen the map. All right. So you guys are right here, and I'll be showing this to you guys up there. So you guys are right here, and her house is right about right there, and those are the gardens that we're talking about.
Okay.
So it's gonna take a minute or 2 to get across town. So
I start counting the silver.
there are 10.
There's 10
There's
silver.
10 silver in there.
I think I might know why.
It's how far is the walk?
It's about a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes if you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not super. It's not super.
Me
long.
no think we need taxi.
No.
No. This is a very small town.
You can
Okay.
ride on my shoulders.
Me can fly.
Touche. Where did that word come from?
Maybe more like 5 minutes. I haven't put the dimensions on here, but based on the size of the houses, yeah, it's probably going to be more like 5 minutes to get there. But yeah, travel inside the town is relatively short. Okay.
We can do.
Okay. All right. So you make your way through town. I forgot to bring my thing. These things are just trying to drop. Without any incident. All right. So you make your way up to Bat Tits.
I remember that one.
You make your way up to old lady Bat Tits.
Old lady Bat Tits.
Yeah, her. So it's one of those kind of it's got one of those wraparound porches. It is 2 levels, but it's a very small upper level. It's mostly the lower level. It kind of almost looks like it could be a bed and breakfast, but she lives there all by herself. It used to be a big family that lived there, but a lot of people have actually moved away to the big city. It's just some people have kind of gotten sick of the rural life, and I mean it's nice and pleasant out here, but there's not a lot of excitement either. it can be pretty mundane out here. So a lot of people have left. So she lives in this, and it used to be a little bit more of a farm, but being that she's a lot older and getting on in her years, that she doesn't have time to kind of keep up on big crops. So she mostly just has Caramellamata olives is her main crop, which is one of the favorites of Kiblin's. So there you are at her stew. All right. So you wait a few moments and nothing.
Is there a mail slot?
There is not.
Okay. Then I don't put my beak in the mail slot.
You listen intently.
They're coming!
He was gonna honk.
So
You know
it
that's
takes a
very
little while, but she manages to shuffle her way to the door, and you can hear click, 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 and she opens it up. There's only one lock. She just doesn't know how to use it.
I thought she had OCD.
I thought she just had 70 locks. So she was
You gotta
afraid of
unlock
Kiblin's.
it 8 times before it actually
Yeah.
feels unlocked.
What are you boys here for? What can I do for you?
I puff out my chest.
Whoa!
We're here to help.
What? Oh, you're here to help. Oh, I see. What are you here to help with?
We were sent from the guild to help you with the Kiblin problem.
I have a Kiblin problem. I do.
Do you?
I do I?
Let jog your memory. Take a look at crop.
Where are all my olives?
I think Kiblin.
I
ate
think
them.
Kiblins have been after this. Can you boys help me out with these Kiblins?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So, I don't know. Can you go check out the back and see how? Check it out. I think those stinky little fuckers are around somewhere.
We will go check it out. Oh, Lady Bat.
Well, let me know when you're done, and I'll give you your payment. Yeah. Have fun, boys. Click, click.
And the door just kind of closes, and you hear click, 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 click.
Methinks we need better lock.
I think so too. Mm-hmm.
Old house, old lock.
All right. So there you are on the front porch.
Seem dusty.
There you are on the front porch. What would you like to do?
We go around back.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Take a quick gander.
A quick gander. All right. So you go around and back, and as soon as you round the corner of the house and you start to make your way to the
This
back,
is gonna get old real fast.
quick.
you can smell them.
Oh,
Yeah, they're very well known for their flatulence, which they think are hilarious. It's not super stinky, but it's very apparent that there are Kiblins around.
normally fart funny, but we need money.
All right, so
So
you make your way all the way to the back.
It just happened.
There's the one set of crops on
Slipped out.
the right, the other set on the other side of the house to the left, or it doesn't really matter, but which side of the house you go around on.
Me think we turn around and go get pillow squash.
Oh, we're gonna need the pillow squash. Yeah, I think we're definitely gonna need to go get it.
As you're talking here, the other familiar sound or the other familiar telltale
Stench.
sign of Kiblins in the area.
Oh, little giggle after a toot.
That sounds like a Kiblin.
Roll dex.
Oh. Save or
Actually, first roll perception, then roll dex.
okay.
Hooey also roll perception.
Wow, great start. Natural 1 for a 5.
Okay.
19.
All right. So you don't hear shit, but Hooey, you can hear just before it happens. You can hear some footsteps. You don't know where they're coming from, but you hear footsteps in the
I'd
grass.
just like to point out that my first roll of the game was a natural
Natural
one.
one, and that's setting you up for absolute success.
Yes. I'm number one.
What do you want to do? Roll dex.
I turn to exactly where I heard the sound come from, and I pull the bow from my back, and I immediately knock an arrow and pull and aim to where I heard the noise.
Roll investigation.
15.
15.
Investigation. Sorry. Right there. 21.
All right. You can see right behind our friend here the impression of 2 little feet in the grass right there. What do you want to do?
Do I have the arrow knocked and everything?
Roll dex.
Yes.
Okay. You're almost ready to knock. So you have your bow up and you're pulling the arrow, but now you see the feet.
Okay. As I'm getting it out of my quiver, I yell to Seela.
Seely.
Behind you, Seely.
Okay. Just as he's saying that, you can feel the sides of your trousers. Do you wear pants?
I'm kind of Donald Ducking it.
You're kind of Donald Ducking it.
Yeah, I have a cool shirt on.
Okay. Hold on. Give me just a quick second to
Recalculating.
Yeah, because I didn't think about that. Okay. All right. I got this. You can feel something kind of grab onto your back feathers, but it's kind of light. Just as you hear this, what do you want to do?
I am going to. Produce flame near my butt.
All right.
Don't fart.
What is that a DC or is that a
it is.
I think I hear thunder.
If I make a range attack on it, and I hit with it, it's a.
Okay, so it's a range attack.
Yeah.
So roll attack with disadvantage.
Okay.
And I do think that the thunderstorm I saw lightning earlier.
Yeah, it was raining outside earlier.
Um,
It's a shame.
I would be adding my wisdom to that, right? I'm sorry. Spell casting is
To the attack, yes.
spell. Oh
proficiency.
shit! Spell attack modifier is a +6. Okay. Disadvantage. You said yes.
Yes.
Eight.
8. Cool.
Mhm.
All right.
First roll was a 2.
Where did I put that?
So I've rolled a 1,
And
a 15, and a 2. No,
I
well,
rolled a 17, a 19, and a 4.
yeah, I should say a 1, a 12, and a 2. So I'm doing the best at this.
You are doing the best at this.
Yep.
Okay. Well, so your attack fails miserably, but luckily, because Rollo noticed in time the that feeling on your feathers lets go, and you see those feet just kind of disappear as the flame comes down and hits the grass and kind of scorches it. All right. What do you want to do? You start hearing.
Did I see the feet move off to where they were going to?
They just kind of picked up.
Picked
So they
up.
just kind of disappeared.
Are Kiblins known to just...
They're non-confrontational, so they don't want to fight.
They're mischievous.
They're mischievous. They don't want to fight. They actually do not have a damaging attack.
Okay.
Do I?
But you do know that if you don't do something quick, you're gonna get spittled.
Can I hear where they're at?
Roll perception.
Are they considered humanoid?
Goblinoid.
Oh, even better.
11.
Fey goblinoid, to be specific.
They are one of my favorite enemies.
Aha.
I have advantage on survival checks to track your favorite enemy, as well as on intellect checks to recall information about them. You also learn one language of your choice. So I can roll advantage to track it.
Okay. So you will have disadvantage because it's invisible, so regular roll.
Regular roll.
Yep.
Okay. And that is so it would be survival check to track it. That would be a
42.
19. Okay.
19.
So it is behind Sealy, but it is kind of fluttering away. You can hear its wings kind of move in that direction. What do you want to do?
I rolled an 11 on the perception.
Okay, so you can also track it relatively well. You can hear where it is, not as well as Rolo, but you have a general idea. So,
Okay, so what I would like to do is, I would like to pick a point to where I think it's headed and cast Fairy Fire.
okay, roll initiative.
Sweet.
Oh boy. 17.
18.
Quick save. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So we got 18 and 17. All right. So we'll wait for Hooey to come back.
Sure.
The Kiblin will be going first, and then
Damn.
you will go, and then we'll go. They're relatively high decks.
Okay, so
And you're very familiar with these guys, so like you pretty much know about them.
so would the Fairy Fire count before initiative, or
No, that's if you want to change your action, but at this point we're in combat, so to speak. We're in the
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So that would be my action.
If you want to continue with that action
Okay.
on your
Gotcha.
initiative,
Gotcha.
But if you want to change it now that you know that it's going like that,
Yep.
that's up to you.
No, I think I'll keep it.
You do know that the fact that it is visible right now is it's one time per day. So yeah, as soon as Hooey gets back, I'll just kind of give you the stats on these guys because you do like obviously you don't know the numbers kind of thing, but you know enough about them to kind of understand how
Sure.
they act.
And how far away did you say the fluttering was from where? Excuse me, where I was at?
Let's see. What did I give their movement speed? Probably only 10, 15 feet away. Like it's
Okay.
hard for you to judge specifically, but that. But yeah. So I'll just kind of give you the background real quick. So we already said that they're mischief crude. They are actually relatively poor flyers, and when they fly, it is typically just to escape. And so you know that their primary goal is to ascend, not to go in a particular direction.
Gotcha. Do they? What the hell was I going to ask? I don't remember. Oh, can we tell like a roundabout number? Like, are there different locations of sounds or anything like that?
Wait, say it again.
Is there a number of them that we can hear?
Only one.
Okay.
Yeah, only one. But you know that if there's one here, there's probably a couple other just sitting off to the side watching.
Sure.
All right. They smell like sulfur and candy. So it's like this really weird kind of combination of a fart and a sweet candy.
Like a where there's Easter egg.
Yeah. So you'll have to kind of interpret this in terms of like in-game kind of a thing, but I'll just give you that. They do have nimble escape, so they can disengage or hide as a bonus action. They do have magic resistance. You know that they are innate spellcasters. They can use a minor illusion at will.
Mhm.
They can also cast sleep, dancing lights, entangle, phantasmal force, and invisibility, but only upon themselves, and this is once per day. So you know that if this becomes visible, it's visible.
Gotcha.
And then, like as I mentioned, they have the only real attack is their sticky spit, which just restrains you, and it just kind of sucks. It only lasts like one round, but it sucks. Okay, so all right. Skip. Does a 16 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. You are now covered with sticky spit, and you are restrained.
Okay.
Okay. You will be restrained until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
All right. Now, if I remember, I don't have that. I forgot. I think you're just when you're restrained. I think you can still take your actions.
Yes.
You just can't.
You
move.
just can't move.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Do you
right.
want one of those screens that has like conditions and shit on the
No,
inside?
no.
Okay.
I couldn't remember exactly. This isn't gonna last super long.
Okay.
So yeah, you're restrained and you are up. And who you're on deck?
I will continue with the fairy fire.
Okay.
Which each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue or green or violet light. It is going to be green.
Okay.
Any creature in the area when the spell is cast also outlined if it fails a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
So you need to beat a 14 dex.
Ooh, it is outlined. You can see exactly where it is. It is about 15 feet away from you and about 15 feet up in the air.
Okay. Also with that, any attack roll against the affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it. So your attack would have advantage on it.
Awesome. So, as this happens, you can hear coming from in the forest, and okay, let me just real quick. All right, Hooey, you're up.
Rolo immediately sees the outline. He goes, grabs a javelin off his back, pulls it, and
All right,
launches the javelin out.
roll your attack.
20 to hit.
Okay, you hit. Roll damage.
Oh, yeah. How many you need? Oh, okay. Yeah. Here, I'll give you that one. The die of death. The die of death. Ah, it is death indeed.
That's a 3.
Okay,
No, 4. Sorry.
4. All right.
You had dex to that, or strength to that, right?
Yes.
All right.
That's fine.
So you hit the Kiblin, and it falls out of the sky, but it is still struggling around.
Okay.
All right. And then out from the forest, some spittle comes flying at you, but it goes right over the top of your head, completely misses you. Then another set comes and, splatters right all over you, covering you. You are now restrained until the end of your next turn. And you can see they're kind of crawl away. All right, top of the next round. I did myself a disservice.
You did yourself a disservice.
I didn't think we were going to get this deep.
Yeah.
So, let's see if my computer will turn on. Oh, I just turned it off.
So top of the round is the guy laying on the ground, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Luckily, it just died. All right. Do you have the player's handbook, or can you look up Phantasmal Force?
Yes, I can. All right. Phantasmal Force. You craft an illusion that takes root in the mind of a creature that you can see within range. A target must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, you create a phantasmal object, creature, or other visible phenomenon of your choice that is no larger than a 10-foot cube and that is perceivable only to the target for the duration. The spell has no effect on undead constructs. The phantasm includes sound, temperature, and other stimuli, also evident only to the creature. The target can use its action to examine the phantasm with an investigation check against your spell DC. While the target is affected by the spell, the target treats the phantasm if it were real. The target rationalizes any illogical outcomes from interacting with the phantasm. For example, a target attempting to walk across the phantasmal bridge,
thing,
blah, blah, blah.
Make that save.
Okay. It is a intelligence. Okay. Sorry. 18.
18. All right. Nothing happens. Take your turn.
Okay. Looking at that little peckerhead all lit up.
Yep.
I am going to produce flame at it.
All right. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Cocked. Uh, 13.
You hit it.
Oh,
Roll for damage.
hey, look at that. Two damage.
All right. You hit it with the flame, and you hear the death throes of the Kiblin as it bursts into flame. Its invisibility wears off, and now you can see the charred remains of the Kiblin as it slowly kind of dissolves into the soil and melts away.
And as I end my turn, my little goose feet are like pulling up.
Yeah, so the spittle kind of starts to kind of wear off of you, and it kind of sloughs away. You hear, ah! And you can kind of hear the rustling in the forest as the other Kiblins seem to retreat. Your turn?
Do I see any that are still nearby to where he just killed one?
Where he killed one?
Yeah, just any that are nearby within, like, say, 60 feet.
Not without taking an investigation. If you'd like to take an investigation as your action for the turn.
If Rolo can assume that they are leaving.
That's more or less what you can determine. Like, they're non-confrontational. You know that they were basically trying to get the other one out of there, and as soon as if that had happened, they would have taken off. So they're fleeing into the woods now, but they are invisible.
Rolo will go to retrieve his spear.
Okay.
Javelin.
All right. So combat's over, unless you want to attempt to pursue them into the woods. But you know that is not going to be a fruitful endeavor because they're going to fly up into the trees and then make their way through the trees, and that's going to be very difficult.
Me kind of feel bad.
I don't.
Well, me kill them.
Good job.
Yeah, I mean, you know that they're not really harmful, but I mean, it was about to rip out your feathers. You're pretty sure of that, so that might have hurt them bad.
They were going to ruin old lady Bettis. Ruin old lady Bettis. Crops.
Well, me think we should mosey and get pillow squash.
We need to go get the squash, and then we need to come back here, and we need to plant it and get rid of these. I need to take a bath. I smell like farts.
Yes. Me as well.
Okay. All right. So, what would you like to go do next?
Let's go to Pillow Squashington Squash Brigade.
All right. Okay, so it's not actually that far. So these are all like tree breaks. And you know that you could cut through the farm area if you want to piss all the farmers off. So better to go around, but it's that house right there. That's where he is. And he's the only one that sells pillow squash because it's really, that's the only use of it is to keep Kiblins away. Not many things eat it.
And, I say we go
especially
around.
Me think we take long way.
Okay.
Yeah, long way's probably
All right. So it takes like probably a minute and a half to get to the farmer's house.
That's a long way if you ask me, but I say we still take it.
Okay. So you make your way there without any incident.
French fried taters.
And you come up upon it's a little bit more worn down, but that's because this is one of the busiest farmers in town, and he just doesn't really have the time, nor do his farm hands have the time to kind of take care of this. He's a really important to the food supply here.
Mm-hmm.
But he also knows you boys pretty well, and so you know that all you got to do is just give it a quick knock and ask for what you need.
What's his name again?
He doesn't remember.
I gotta check the video.
It's Mr. Bumblekins, right?
Yeah, Bumblekins. He's my cousin. He's my cousin. Excuse me. We need some pillow squash.
You do that right to the door?
No. I do the knock.
Me thought you stupid.
Hold on, y'all.
Yeah,
I'll
me
be right
too.
there. Okay. It is not Mr., but it is Mrs. who walks up to the door and says, "Oh, howdy, boys. How y'all doing today? What can I do you for?"
Me good.
We need some pillow squash.
Oh, pillow squash. Kiblins.
Yep.
Kiblin.
Yep. It's the season.
Smell
It's
me finger.
starting to I'll pass on that, dear.
Smell my finger.
Yeah, I know that they're stinky little brutes, but they're more or less harmless. But they do get into those crops there. There's a cart wagon over there. You can take the cart if you need to. How many of those you gonna need? There?
3 dozen.
About 3 dozen.
Yep.
All right. Well, let me think. So let's see, one copper piece. So that's 3 dozen, 36. So boys, I'm gonna do you a favor today. Just 3 silver. We'll save you that extra 6 copper. You boys are good boys. I know.
Chink.
I open it up. There you go, ma'am.
So she takes it. All right. No, thank you, dears. So, like I
Dude,
said,
he should
there's
just
a
be
card.
Sling Blade.
That's
all the
what I'm
time.
going for now. He's gonna see Sling Blade, dude.
Y'all can borrow a card. Just make sure you bring it back. Just by tomorrow. It's not a big deal, but we will need it back by tomorrow. So don't worry about that. And the field's right over there. You just go ahead and pick them out. I trust you, boys.
We won't need the card.
All right, if you want.
How big are these things?
They're like the size of like a butternut squash.
The one that looks like a giant
Like,
smooth peanut?
Yes, yeah.
big.
So they're
Yeah,
about
I'll
the
just grab
size.
3 bags and just fucking right over my back with them.
All right.
Like sacks. She got some
Yeah.
sacks.
Him strong. He can handle.
All right. Oh, okay. Well, if you rather just take the sacks, same thing. Just make sure you bring back by tomorrow. But there's some sacks over in the shed, just beyond where the cart is.
That's fine.
Many thank.
You're welcome, boys, and come back anytime. Let me know if you need any more. I mean, they last about a month, but if we get some heavy rains, and you might have to come back earlier. But good luck with those Kiblins. They're such a terror.
Yeah, they're terrible. We'll take care of them.
All right. Well, good luck.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And the door closes, and there you are. So there's the cart, and then just beyond that, you can see it's a relatively large shed, but that's where you'll find the sacks, and then the field right next there is where you find the pillow squash. They're about the size of a butternut squash, but they look like pillows. That's why they're called pillow squash.
Rolo walks over there and grabs sacks. Goes up, fills up.
We
3
start
dozen.
filling them
Filling the
in.
sacks.
Filling the sacks and pillows.
All right, we'll fill up them sacks.
While we're filling them up, call me crazy, but me think Bat Tits should be paying for pillow squash.
I agree.
Sorry, dude. You just looked like Billy Bob Thornton for a second. It just like all the gears in my head stopped. I like it. Yeah. Me think we bring this up to Ferd. Ferda boys.
I think we should go right back to Batkins. Bat Tits.
Yes.
Set it up. Get it done.
We
Call it
do.
a day.
So it takes you about 5 minutes. Because you gotta pick them, you gotta cut them off the vine, you gotta put them in there. They're relatively easy. There's no spines or thorns or anything. So, and it's kind of not very well understood because it only has this effect on Kiblins. They don't smell like anything. They're just kind of like they're bland. Nothing really eats them, but it is the remedy that works. So after about 5 minutes, you got your sacks all ready. They're not super duper heavy. What's your strength?
You want the modifier? I could take one.
I mean,
That-
if you wanna
yeah,
take
that's
one,
I got it, but 15.
Okay, you can
I
carry
have
one sack. You
16
can carry
for
two.
strength.
Yeah. They're not super heavy.
Plus
It might
3
be
strength.
Plus
you know
two.
it might be a
Yeah.
little awkward. Carrying like 2 dozen relatively
Really?
large blocks.
Plus
But yeah,
2
that's
strength. That's a
certainly
strong
doable.
bitch. That's a strong goose. If I've ever seen one.
Honk.
Honk.
so.
He's feral, man.
That's true.
Presumably, you make your way back.
Yeah, the Bat
Yeah,
Tits.
All
All
right.
right.
Back.
All right. So
Me-
you
me
make your
think
way
we-
back there. It takes you probably like an extra 30 seconds just because you're loaded up with those, and you get back there, and as you normally would suspect, the Kiblins won't be back for a little while. Like they're non-confrontational and they don't want to get there, but you can still smell. It still smells like they're there. As a matter of fact, it smells a little bit more potent. Like now you're smelling them as you approach the house. Instead of behind the house, like before.
This ain't good.
Me smell something fishy.
No sulfur and candy.
Smells sweet but sour.
You don't know what sour is.
It smells sweet.
But stinky.
Stinky.
All right. So
Me
you're
think
kind of
me think we put squash around perimeter first.
Put it around
Then we talk to Bat Tits.
the middle in the front, lot in the back.
all right. So you're
Don't
about
like
kitty
'em.
corner. So you're about kitty corner to the house when you smell it. So you're right about you're right about even with this field right there. That's when you smell it.
Okay.
So what would you like to? How would you like to proceed? Like you said, you want to plan them around. How do you want to? Do you want to go straight there? Do you want to backtrack and kind of do the perimeter? How do you want to start this?
I would say probably do the perimeter of the crop field,
Okay.
and then
Get the perimeter pot field done, and then do a little bit in front because we smell something. in the front.
do around the house.
Could just be me.
So yeah, I mean, typically the way it would be is you just put them along the edge, but it would be reasonable, seeing that the smell is a lot more potent than it was before, that maybe you might want to do a little extra and put them around the
Yeah.
front. That might mean you have to take a few there, but normally people kind of overdo the pillow squash, so you can probably spread them out a little bit farther than that to kind of get that. So
Me think they make home under porch.
That'd be real bad.
Real bad.
Real bad.
Yeah, so we just set everything up.
Set
And
up
then-
a bunch in the back, a little bit in the front.
okay, so from the position where you're at the corner of the house, how do you want to proceed? Where do you want to go specifically? Do you want to just go straight back to the woods and then start that way and kind of divide?
Yeah,
and
do a
conquer?
clockwise
Yeah.
pattern around the house.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna go directly back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So you walk along the side of the house, and as you get past the edge of the house, you can see in the middle of the back is old lady Bat Tits on the ground. What do you want to do?
Bad Tits, you okay?
Honk! Honk!
Bad Tits, you okay?
I
Nothing.
waddle quickly and poke her with my quarter
You make your
staff.
way up to her, and you see something you've never seen before. Her body is grizzled. It is decaying. It is kind of blackened, like a big chunk has been taken out of her, and just kind of like dissolved away, but like leaving this ugly remnants behind. There are already flies there. It's only been maybe 15, 20 minutes since you've been gone, but she looks like she's like the part of her that is missing has like been dead for a while, and you just left. And I mean, she was inside the house, so you don't even know what could happen. You really smell that sulfur smell. Like it's really strong. It's kind of outpacing the sweet. And there's this other smell there that you're not familiar with.
Me never get a good look at her before, but me never realize how old she is.
Roll perception.
That old.
Perception. 21.
8. 9.
Okay. You see in the grass several feet starting to walk towards you.
Is there an
Oh,
odd
dude.
number, or is it an even number?
Roll investigation.
18.
You make out 5 sets of footprints. They are kind of surrounding. So you have some coming direct, a couple kind of trying to flank you. And that smell is getting more and more strong. Like this is way beyond what you normally would expect from a Kibblin. And that extra scent that you are not familiar with is also getting more potent.
Watch
Oh,
out, they
right.
try to surround.
What?
They
They
come
use-
from front.
I don't like it. Mm-mm.
All right, and we are going to end there.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, everybody.
That's it.
Hope you enjoyed this one.
Yeah. Hopefully
Honk!
that didn't suck.
Honk!
Twin blade. Mhm.
Oh, man. Yeah, I got to tone that down. Just amp it up, one of the two.
One of the two. I mean, I like it where it is.
I
to
think
be
you should
honest.
go online and just Google all the goose jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just pick 3 and just repeat those over and over and over again.
Yeah, I
found my home.
I
I found my home with my voice.
Yep.
All right, so
Yep.
we're not 100% sure when we're going to release these because, this is our Tuesday release, at least for now. And we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. And just watch for Roll for Titles.
Roll for title.
The title. I love it. Mm-hmm.
Like, share, subscribe. We have a Patreon. Support us, please.
Rolo.
Thank you. Instagram, Facebook. Bye.
I'll never do it at the same time as you. God damn it.
You just never know when it's coming.
All right.